Good evening, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Daniela Streety, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of FSU Weather. Currently across Doak Campbell Stadium, not a single cloud in the sky. We have a beautiful sunset developing in the background, staying in those upper 60s in Tallahassee with a slight wind from the southwest at 7 miles per hour. And those slightly warmer temperatures is the trend across the Big Bend in South Georgia, mostly staying in those mid to upper 60s. Even see 72 in Quincy as our warmer spot in the area currently. And for tonight, we can see more of those temperatures dipping into the mid to upper 40s. Can anticipate a slight warming trend throughout the week. And so for our headlines for tonight, we're going to look at this gradual warming trend for our weekend ahead. Also some elevated fire danger risks and our wild weather Wednesday. So stay tuned here on FSU Weather. Good evening, everyone. Student meteorologist Daniela Streety here with Miss Chloe Knight with your first formal show.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here, and especially exciting because we've seen rather unusual weather. It's been so cold. Like, we've had such a cool down last week, but it looks like we're going to warm right back up this week.
I know, it was quite the surprise seeing that, the beginning of the semester, it was constantly so hot, like above average hot, like almost record breaking, and now we were nearing record lows.
Yes, it was hot and so dry, no rain whatsoever. Whew, I mean, I was very happy to see 60s, but 30s in the morning on my way to school, I was cold.
It was layer weather for sure. Even I had to wear layers today. I mean, I checked the temperature when I woke up this morning. It was like upper 20s, low 30s, frost completely glazing over my windshield. Had to make my car heat up. It was like, oh, we're starting to feel like a little like winter, but is it here to stay? We'll find out eventually.
Yes, I guess so. Yeah, on my way to work this morning, I had to bring on my big puffer jacket, but by the time it was noon out, it was low 70s, high 60s.
I know.
It was crazy. We had such a warm up today, and it'll cool right back down tonight.
Mother Nature is playing a game with us here in the Southeast, that's for sure.
She definitely is, yes.
But yeah, Chloe, so what can we expect here in Tallahassee for the next couple of days? I mean, I know we're going to see a warming trend, so is that what we're going to see moving forward?
Oh, yes, for sure. The next week we are going to see quite a bit of warmth, especially since we're going to have relatively low rain chances. But currently you can see a beautiful sunset heading over Tallahassee with pretty mild temperatures in the high 60s along with Panama City. And as we look over at St. George Island, it is still very nice weather over there if you want to head over to the beach. Current temperatures, it is going to be high 60s in Tallahassee, sitting at 69. If you look over at Thomasville in southern Georgia, we are seeing mid-60s. Beautiful weather. Looking over across city, it is a little lower at 61, but still around mid-60s in Apalachicola. As we look at our live radar, we are seeing very quiet weather, not much cloud cover or rain. Along with tomorrow, it's going to stay pretty nice out, pretty sunny and beautiful. Just some clouds here and there, but more so missing Tallahassee. As we look at our rain chances, we are seeing very low chances, around 10% almost every single day of the week. Absolutely beautiful. And for tonight, it is going to dip down into the 40s, so definitely make sure to bring a jacket if you're heading out for a run. I know I sure will be right after this forecast, so excited for that, but I will be bringing my long sleeve because 44 in Tallahassee, that is quite chilly. 43 over in Valdosta, quite chilly as well. It's still hitting high 40s over in Apalachicola at 48 and St. Mark's at 47. For tomorrow afternoon, we are going to see still some pretty warm temperatures. So if you want to head out, get some sunshine, play some soccer, or go next to the pool, it is going to be pretty warm outside in the low 70s. And as we look at the daily planner, if you want to plan out your day, it's still going to be in the 40s in the morning, so definitely make sure to bring layers, bring a jacket, but you can definitely wear a t-shirt because it is going to be low 70s around noon, but dipping down into the high 60s in the afternoon. As we look at our 7-day forecast, we are seeing a huge warm up throughout the week. As you can see, it's going to be hitting low 80s once again. Oh, those temperatures are haunting me after seeing 60s and 70s for so long. Major warm up, especially since we're getting barely any rain. Now here's Daniela telling you more about the southeast.
Yes, thank you, Chloe. So yeah, the southeast seeing a very similar trend across the area. We see Tampa with a beautiful sunset, however, in those upper 60s. Lots of places around the southeast are staying in those upper 60s, low 70s, even seeing some 72 in New Orleans, sunsetting in Nashville at 67 as well. And currently across the southeast, that is staying pretty consistent. We're seeing lots of sunshine. That fall gradient is kicking in, mostly in the golden sunshine state, seen in those 60s, Miami at 72. But we do see this hot spot, 81 in Shreveport. So that warming trend is slowly creeping its way into the southeast, and it's going to eventually move itself farther east as the next few days moves forward. And a lot of that is also going to happen with those dew points. We still have some dry patches sitting in Florida. The dew point at 28 in Jacksonville, 37 in Charleston, 31 in Charlotte. But as we move farther to the west, you can see that moisture starting to creep itself back in. Dew point at 56 in Shreveport. So that's something to watch out for because it's been very unusually dry in the last couple of days. But that moisture is slowly going to kick its way back in. In terms of our current radar, we are staying in the clear. Nothing to worry about in the way of rain and hardly any clouds either. We have a very dominant high pressure system across the southeast. However, the downside to this is that the drought that a lot of places in the southeast is experiencing is going to continue, as we are not anticipating any precipitation to happen in the next several days. Especially we're seeing here in Alabama, parts of south central Georgia, and then also deep south Georgia and into the Big Bend and South Georgia. We're seeing extreme drought conditions and not a lot of rain we can see anytime soon to alleviate that. So that can also bring some fire danger concerns into the near future as well. In terms of rain for this weekend, hit or miss showers are possible as that moisture moves in, maybe even trace amounts, but not a whole lot of rain to be concerned about going into the next couple of days. So we can't anticipate that drought to be alleviated. And going into the rest of your work week, we're going to see some passing clouds, upper level and lower level clouds making their way through. But again, that high pressure system is keeping it high and dry for many of us throughout the southeast, especially if we move in further into your weekend. Not a whole lot is going to change. So we can say copy paste forecast. We can even see that here for Birmingham. We're seeing those lower 40s and going into the upper 40s into 50s as you move into your weekend. Those highs staying in the low to mid 70s, but lots of sunshine and little chances of rain. So it's a great time to go outdoors and enjoy that sunshine and blue skies. New Orleans is going to have much of the same story. Lots of sunshine for them as well, but those temperatures are going to be on the warmer side, seeing those upper 70s and even lower 80s going into the end of your week. Those mornings are going to be also on the warmer side, seeing those 50s and even 60s in the morning. So compared to what we saw this past week, that is certainly a warming trend for tonight. Lots of the southeast going to stick to those 40s, upper 30s as you go farther north. But again, as that warmer air and moisture is going to move into the southeast, we're going to see more western parts of the region to sit in those 50s and 60s, and that's what we can anticipate that to move through for the rest of the area going into this weekend. But for tomorrow, those temperatures are going to continue to elevate as the day continues. We're going to see even 83 in Shreveport, those upper 70s, and even some mid to low 70s as well as we get farther east towards the Atlantic coast. So yeah, for the southeast, we're staying very, very dry. And speaking of dry, I mean, we have Wild Weather Wednesday. We're talking about dust. And speaking of, we're going to talk about dust devils.
Yes, definitely. A dust devil is a strong, very strong natural event that we have been seeing currently. It's a spinning column of air and dust that forms on hot, clear, and dry days when the sun heats the ground. They're weaker than tornadoes, but can definitely still do some damage.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, it's kind of crazy because I don't think I've ever seen one in person.
Me neither. They must not be common over in Tallahassee for sure.
No, I definitely think it's more of
over
a
here.
Southwest kind of thing.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely, yes.
Yeah. So, And then, so what are the impacts of dust devils? So dust devils can have impacts ranging from minor damage to property and as well as air quality concerns, especially those who are more sensitive, has like people who have like respiratory issues and stuff like that. That can also create some issues for them. It can also bring significant hazards for aviation. They can lift and transport dust and debris, which can damage small structures, break tree branches, strip roofs, and flip objects like trampolines. I'm sure we've seen a ton of viral videos on dust devils and what they can do and how quickly things can switch up on you, especially if you see like roofs being ripped off, trees falling down out of nowhere, and it's just like, whoa, where did this come from, But they're a really cool event, honestly. I mean, I never really got to see one fully. I've seen like little ones, like when you're a kid and it's a really windy day and you see all the sand getting picked up. That thing is about as close to dust devils I've gotten to, but I don't really know if that would count as one, but
yes, very interesting indeed. I remember like in elementary school, we'd head out into the courtyard. We'd see like leaves going everywhere.
You'd
like,
see the little swirl, like an eddy or something.
Yeah. But no, yeah, very interesting, but definitely can still be a hazard for like, of course, trampolines. As if I had one as a kid, so that would scare my past self.
Did you ever have a trampoline fly away?
Oh wait, I did not have mine fly away, but mine did have some significant damage from tropical storms. Where I'm from, Pensacola, we got a lot of tropical storms for sure.
Well, speaking of circling back to home, I mean, we have a lot going around in Tallahassee in terms of events. So Chloe, you want to tell us what's going on? How's that weather going to be for those outdoor events?
Yes, of course. We are going to see definitely some beautiful skies if you want to head out into the FSU Sports Complex or the IM fields to play some soccer or go run. You're seeing pretty beautiful skies, very clear. Also, if you want to head out to Panama City or Panama City Beach, head out and get some sun, go to the beach. You're seeing some beautiful skies, no clouds in sight, absolutely beautiful. If you want to go hiking, you're seeing perfect temperatures. Honestly, this is most ideal. Low 70s, probably high 60s, very sunny. Make sure to grab your sunscreen just in case. There's always a chance. But there's also the North Florida Fair going on. I went yesterday. It was so much fun. If you want to head out and ride the zipper or the fireball, my favorite especially. It is going to be a little chilly, so make sure to bring a jacket or definitely layer up when you're heading out. When I first started out, it was in like around 60s, 50s, but as it came to around 8 p.m. yesterday, it was hitting like 40s. It was freezing. I had to head out really early because I was not expecting such a cool down. And this is because of the dry air that we're seeing, not a lot of rain. But honestly, that is ideal if you want to head out to the pool. We're still seeing low 70s to mid 70s in the afternoon, lots of sun all across the board. Beautiful day to get your tan on, honestly. If you want to head out to the beach in Panama City, you're seeing around the same conditions with 74 Saturday, 76 Sunday. Beautiful. Love to see it. And if you want to go on a trip, you are seeing absolutely no delays, completely clear. If you want to go ahead and get some traveling on because the skies have been so beautiful, the weather has been nice, go get some hiking. You are seeing very clear skies. Great to see it. And yes, exactly, no delays whatsoever all across the board. And for tomorrow's forecast, it's still going to be pretty bright and sunny, still pretty warm, sitting at 76. Some northwest winds, of course, and then if you want to head out to the bars in Tallahassee, you are going to see some pretty cool temperatures in the low 40s or the mid 40s, sitting at 45. Definitely make sure to layer up. And Daniela, what are your plans for this weekend?
Yeah, so for this weekend, I am planning to actually go to our football game. So that's kind of, hopefully we will get a win and we'll figure it out, hopefully. I mean, we kind of got some hope after that Wake Forest win, and then Clemson kind of let us back down. Now we got to see if we'll get another win for this season. Got to take what we can.
Yes, I'm very excited for tailgating and going to the football game. I had to miss the last one because of Halloween, so I'm really excited to head out. It'll be my first night game ever, so
it'll be my last home game as a senior, so that's so sad for me. Wow. I know it's bittersweet. That's why I have to go, win or lose. I got to take it all in. Last time I can be in the student section, so.
Well, luckily we'll see some great temperatures during this game. Still a little chilly, so make sure to bring your your FSU sweatshirt.
Certainly, and it'll be really comfortable. And another thing for tonight, are you going to plan to go see the Northern Lights? I know last night we saw some Northern Lights all the way down in Tallahassee.
Yes.
Some reached all the way down to Orlando. Saw lots of awesome pictures.
Yes, I've never seen the Northern Lights before. Like, they looked beautiful. I saw many pictures from many of my friends. It looked absolutely amazing. I would, honestly. Good idea.
Yeah, you could maybe find a place in town, not as much light pollution. And dude, all you need to do is long exposure on your camera, and there you have it. You got all those pinks and reds. So yeah, it's a wonderful time. It's actually the third time in the last year that I've been able to see like Northern Lights, which I thought was crazy because my whole life I've lived in Tallahassee and I've never seen Northern Lights. And then all of a sudden last May, I think after the tornado event, the Northern Lights happened that night.
Really?
In May, yeah.
Wow.
And then in October, it happened again. That like last year,
Oh,
like
what
last
are the
fall. And then now we're in
chances?
November and we have another category 5, I think it's G5, what they call for solar storms, geomagnetic storms. And now it is all just coming back. And it's like, wow.
That's so amazing. Hopefully I'll be able to catch them tonight. That would be amazing. Well, if you want to follow up with us, make sure to follow us at FSU Weather.
And also make sure to like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
And don't forget, if you're watching right now, go ahead and hit the subscribe button here at FSU Weather.
And if you're on TikTok, make sure to follow us at FSU Weather.
And here's your last look at the 7-day. Enjoy the sunshine, folks.